If you use cash, you need to watch this because there have been some quiet policy changes when it comes down to cash transactions, and banks and even the federal government is watching your cash transactions and flagging them. Now, with this policy shift, it's really been clamping down for the beginning of the year of January. And we're not talking about large cash transactions. We're talking about transactions of cash as low as $200 and up. And so the government is making a shift to track cash payments and wire transfers. And we're going to break down what's taking place. And here's the policy shift. Here's an article from Payments Dive. FinCEN target illegal remittances. Trump's executive order in January titled Protecting the American People Against Invasion is in line with his administration's efforts to crack down on illegal migration. In keeping with that order, FinCEN said the notice was aimed at countering public safety and national security threats. The agency cited financial activity by Mexico-based drug cartels crossing borders, human smuggling and trafficking networks, oil smuggling, Chinese money laundering networks, and terrorist organizations. FinCEN noted $72 billion in international money transfers last year between the United States resident immigrants to foreign residents per the Bureau of Economic Analysts. While the vast majority of remittances from the United States are legitimate and can provide critical financial support to family members abroad, FinCEN previously cautioned that malign actors have used low dollar crossing border funds transfers to facilitate or commit terrorist, financial, narco trafficking, and other illicit activity, the notice said. Spokespeople for cross-border payment companies MoneyGram and Remitly declined to comment on the latest FinCEN notice. A Western Union spokesperson did not respond to a request for comment. Cross-border money transmitters have faced some additional pressure during the Trump administration. Early this year, the administration proposed to impose a 5% tax on international remittances, but then scaled that figure back to 1% in the final tax and spending bill. It takes effect next year. The industry trade groups had lobbies against the initial bill, saying it would create a significant cost burden. They also objected to a provision that would have made a distinction between U.S. citizens and non-citizens in paying the tax, requiring some consumers to disclose personal information to avoid it. The remittance tax proposed initially applied to only non-U.S. citizens, according to the text of the May 20th House budget proposal. But the ultimate law calls for all consumers to pay the 1% tax. Now, this policy shift is to focus on activities of drug cartels and also other financial crimes, especially with money laundering from Chinese gangs. And now when you see a lot of this crackdown on illegal immigration, a lot of these people are being humanly trafficked, and some are paying coyotes that are connected to drug cartels to get them across the border. And unfortunately, some of these people are forced to send payments that's also supporting the activities of these drug cartels. Now, we all know there is a shift in policy, especially focusing with ICE and those that commit crimes that are here as migrants. And this large focus is part of this action. And additionally, with what we've seen in Minnesota with the Feeding Our Children fraud that took place, and it was connected with the majority of those bad actors being a part of the Somali community. A lot is being alleged that some of these payments, even from that fraud, was sent and wire transferred over to help support terrorists. And so with this is actually causing flags even with us and our money transactions. So we see now this is going to be increasing when we're going into this 2026 year. Now, this is going to have side effects for those with lower credit scores or those who don't have access to credit, because many retailers and other businesses may try to stray away from cash transactions. So, this may make people more dependent on the banking system with debit card payments and credit card payments. And people with lower credit scores may lose a lot of access to certain services, or it may give them a more difficult time if they cannot deal in cash. And even if they are extended credit, it can lead to higher interest rates because of their troubled credit scores. Now, in the month of January, I am having my credit kickoff. It's right here on YouTube and it's absolutely free. This is designed to help you increase your credit score by 100 points. And we're doing this every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to help improve your credit, you can join that by actually subscribing to this channel and hitting the notification bell so you can be notified when I go live on Saturday. And so this is going to be a real holdup if a lot of cash transactions begin to be flagged. And when it comes down to it, it's going to be a strong push for credit. And credit, as we already see, moving forward in the future is very important because it affects the type and quality of housing you can get, transportation, like you getting car loans, and even additionally, with affecting you getting a job. So that's actually affecting you supporting your family. And with the youth coming up with Gen Z, we see now with a more cashless move towards society, it's going to make it harder for them in the future if we see more push away from cash, because this really makes you dependent on using credit and cashless transactions. Now, this can also have a negative effect when it comes down to your privacy, because many people like to use cash in order to keep their privacy. And that is part of the negative effect why this is being monitored, because a lot of illegal activity happens with cash, as we can see with the focus on the drug cartels and terrorism. So we want to make sure that we are watching out for all of these policy shifts because it can affect you in your personal everyday life. So hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section. More detailed questions for me, you can go to my website and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.